All right, we should officially be live soon, so let's get everything rolling. Oh, I do need to do one last thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a little bit of throwing. Oh no.
Oh, shush. We don't need you interrupting us.
Yep. All right, well, we should be live. I'm going to run a sound check real fast on my phone. You want to kick everything off for us today?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Kicked it off. Let's start. uh, no, I'm glad we're doing this. I want to try to record it on my end over here too. See if I get a good picture with the new device. We'll see what happens. Are you checking the sound right now, or are we just hopping in?
No, I was figuring you were going to kick everything off. I'm doing a sound check, though, just to make sure that everybody can hear you, but
Okay,
system isn't
welcome
caught up yet.
everybody to the current Magic of Flesh and Blood. We're here to gather today and talk about our favorite card games. I was not prepared today, but Chance knows what he wants to talk about, and I'll just follow along. There's some things that I can talk about since there was some recent spoilers for Magic the Gathering. Not official spoilers, unfortunately. Someone just opened up a pre-release pack, and this does not come out until when's its release date? Till April the 19th. So we have a whole nother month, and they already opened up a potential pre-release kit.
Fabulous. Okay, so finally got everything's caught up on the YouTube side, so now I can actually sound check. I hate that it takes so long to catch on YouTube. Like, we'll already be streaming for like a minute or two before it catches up. But yeah, so with everything that's going on, I wanted to give a quick update on what's going on with the PvE system, because that's kind of been dragged to a halt. I just started a new job, so I've been kind of throwing through the ropes to getting all that stuff done. Jones finally is back. I should also be off next Tuesday, so we should be able to stream our normal Tuesday stream. We're probably going to end up moving some of our streams to either Sunday or Saturday, depending on what's available for me and Jones to keep everything moving forward. But we really want to make this something that is better for you guys. Also, with the new job that I started, I'll be able to get a lot more product in my hands to be able to open for everybody else, which was the whole purpose of me, really starting a new job, getting something better so that I can actually get more product for you guys and, more product for, Jones to crack Magic. Not like he has enough of a addiction over there with cardboard.
I'm not addicted.
Just cardboard, ink, and...
If I stay home, I can't be addicted.
Okay, so what's been going on with Magic, real quick, on your end, besides just those spoilers?
Right now it's just those spoilers. I mean, people aren't terribly excited for this last set that came out. Clue was kind of fun, but it's really not making the waves that I think Magic was hoping it would. And then, like I said at the beginning, there's just a pack of pre-release kit for the next set that has already been opened, or what looks like has been opened. It's really hard to fake cards that haven't came out yet.
Gotcha. I mean, it could be done. I'm sure we could pull it off at least once.
It's like the whole box, art, like everything that you would get in a pre-release kit.
If we had enough time and enough money, we could do it. We could do it for every card game.
This person does not look like they have the time and money.
Wow, just under the bus. As a matter of fact, we're gonna have 12 more buses behind him. But yeah, so as updates for everybody else, not with just cards, but kind of what's going on in the lives, my new desk and the game room that I'm working on, which is also going to double as my cat room, so they can have play space, should be done hopefully by the end of the month. So I'll have a new background rather than stealing my wife's desk and having my computer space. So we should be all full good. Hopefully, in the next month, I should have more dedicated streaming space and everything else, and then get back to my usual videos once I hit my usual kind of momentum and get used to the new job and everything else. So I thank you guys so much for being here, sticking with us, and really letting this channel be what it is. We thank you guys so much. It's without you guys, we don't have the capability to be here in the first place. So thank you, all of you, many times over. PvE.
Oh yeah, we can talk about PvE.
We're doing something special, which is also why it's taking a little longer. I'm doing a custom PvE deck for each of the guys that is helping me. So that the PvE decks that we are making for them will only be available to them. So Jones will have a custom PvE deck. We're going to make a custom PvE deck for Eric, and I'm going to have my own custom PvE deck. The creatures that will be in our decks will only be in our decks and will not be available to the public. The rest of the PvE stuff that we are working on is going to be available to the public, and some of the things that are going to be in our decks will also be available to the public. But as we continue to grow the PvE system, as you guys give us feedback and let us know where we completely effed up, we will move forward with fixing those things. Because we're doing this for fun. We want something to have a system for all players, right? We want everybody to enjoy playing it. It seems like it's going to be a little bit longer of a blitz game, but also probably in the same ballpark of time as a CC game, standard game.
Yeah.
I played 3 decks, and someone played PvE boss, and then I switched it up, and it took about a little over an hour and like 30 minutes to do, but I was playing 3 decks by myself, which makes it take a lot more time than if everyone already has their stuff ready and prepped and good to go. So there's a few little bugs that I want to work out, but I really want to hand it off to the public as soon as I can. I'm really hoping it'll be by the end of this month. That's my personal deadline, is end of this month. It was beginning of this month is what I really wanted, but my personal deadline is the end of this month. At least enough for people to put decks together and try running a few things and seeing what they like.
We gotta be understanding. You just picked up another job so that you can funnel more money into this and for some other debts and stuff. So your time has been limited. So it wouldn't be wrong if it's the end of the next month, but definitely a good goal for the end of this month. I already kind of talked to the people over at my game store if they wanted to trial play. He said that he wouldn't mind doing it.
Perfect. That would also help a lot. And like I said, the Tavern Brawl system is going to be the most unique system because it's going to have its own kind of rules for PvE, where the rest of the systems will function slightly differently than Tavern Brawl, which is kind of why we wanted the Tavern Brawl first, because it's kind of, where everybody starts a D&D campaign is, hey, you pissed off the farmer.
Listen, it's a very drunken setting, and so the gameplay is going to be kind of drunken. We'll figure it out. We'll sober it up.
Which is also why I want to give it to your players kind of where it stands. And say, hey, other effects, whatever you guys think of for this, let us know. Because that'll also impact how the rest of the systems, the other systems that we're working on, which is just mainly the next system that we're working on, which is more of instead of everybody just keeps coming at you one after another, fight to fight to fight to fight till you finish all of the encounters. That'll help us roll some of those systems out and everything and how they need to pan out. So it'll be a lot better off. And then also we toyed around with different borders and everything else. And due to the fact that we will be using the Flesh and Blood original border, but we're going to be editing it so it's custom, it makes it under the art laws, it makes it become our artwork because of what we're doing to it and how we're doing it. So we can kind of make the cards look a little more flesh and bloody as well, which will help out a great deal for players and new players and things like that. So
yeah, no, it'll be really good. Yeah, as soon as I get off my butt and help you out, I'm sure it'll go faster.
Well, it's not
deck.
Well, that deck I'm not worried about. I'm that's kind of put on the back burner along with Eric's decks and my decks, but they have been discussed and notes have been taken for them, which also kind of put me in a bind to get all of that stuff written down so I didn't lose that information. But then it's also I finally got full access to the program that I normally edit. I was using a free trial version, and so I only had like an hour a day I could work on things. That's no longer the case anymore either. So now when I actually sit down to do something, I could spend a full 8 hours on it and hit a rhythm, which will also help me get that system done for everybody faster. Is trying to stick in a rhythm when you can only work an hour at a time is really hard to get into. Like, okay, let's get all of this done. It's like by the time I go get all of the information, pull it down, put it onto the cards, get it all arranged so it looks good. You're talking, I've only gotten 5 to 6 cards done in total. And then also I was in the struggle bus of going, okay, how do I want these things to function? And if I left the program running while I was trying to figure that stuff out because I forgot to close it down, there's 10 minutes, 20 minutes wasted. So sometimes I only got to 3 cards because I was trying to figure stuff out and do other stuff. So it was a huge hassle, the fact that I was dealing with that too. So now that that limiter is off, that's why I said that's my goal is the end of this month for sure. I really wanted to drop it at the beginning of this month so people got more playtime with it. But, life happens. And we can have a troll come at us, and I appreciate the trolls because I've been one on Xbox and playing games, but at the same time, I also respect people that have lives, so.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking about this. As soon as we do have it ready, I know you got a proxy print, and you can just drop in the images of the cards, and then you can pay for them to print them on like card stock.
That'll be cool too, if we can eventually do that. What I want to do for everybody though is I'm going to drop it as a PDF file, or a Google Doc that I'm going to give full access to everyone that goes and clicks on it to download it. To download it, not to edit it, just to download the file.
Well, yeah, I understand that. It's just not my deck.
No, 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 no,
We're
no.
talking about the general.
We're
deck.
talking about the general deck. As soon as I finish the general, it's gonna literally say all caps, and I'm gonna make sure that our redneck technician can do it. It's gonna say all caps for my information. I'm probably actually gonna put it through specifically the main email that's attached to the YouTube stuff, so that it will not, because everything has been on my personal email, so that it doesn't get screwed up.
Yeah.
So when I do that, I'll send that email, or I'll send that file to myself. I'll duplicate it in Google Docs for my personal information, and then that, our Gmail account for the YouTube stuff, will post that publicly, so it's the only one that's going, hey, this is public for everyone else. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all of the cards on there. So if you want to print off 3 of a blacksmith, you'll have to print 3 of whatever page he's on. That's how I'm going to roll it, just because it'll make it easier. Just to make life easier.
Yeah. That
So,
sounds good.
I definitely am hoping that all of this gets done in a much faster time period, but I am working today's my last day off, and then I'm working pretty much till Sunday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are the only 3 days I'll have to really devote time to it. So
back to that real quick. We're gonna have to change this schedule.
right, which I mentioned,
Sundays.
that, or specifically, like I have next Tuesday off. We could still do a Tuesday stream and a Sunday stream, but that's totally up to your flexibility, my flexibility at the time. But I did kind of mention that.
If we do Tuesdays, you may need a guest, because if we're taking this deck to go get played at the game store I go to, they play on Tuesdays.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to have to probably shift all of our streaming stuff to Sundays, which is true. I forgot about that.
You can still do Tuesday stuff. It's just hopefully Eric and I will be at the game store.
I could always do solo Tuesdays.
Yeah, and then Sundays you still go to the game store also, right?
Yeah, but I go to the game store from noon to like 3 o'clock, so we could either stream earlier than that or later than that. It's all up to you at that point.
I mean, if we do later, right, because I have church, and then you can then review, like if you get a couple more guys to play some of the PvE deck as well, you can
Yeah,
review some stuff.
I definitely want to get a few people in on it. If I can get one of our old guys that played Magic to get in on it, because he said if there ever was a system that came out like that, he'd at least like to try it. And I already have pre-built decks, so I was like, hey, I made this system. You want to sit in and give me your opinion on it? He may actually pull one of his other guys that plays all card games and sit down and play it, and we'll actually see how it pans out in his opinion, where he thinks things are broken or don't work right or things like that. So
I
it'll definitely
actually
be interesting.
play test the cards versus what Flesh and Blood does.
What it feels like they do. I don't want to say that Flesh and Blood doesn't play test, but sometimes I look at some of these cards and I'm like, did you actually? And they're like, well, we play tested it in the set. In the set, it's fine. It's like, that's not how you play test. Like, yeah, you want to play test for draftability. Sure, I understand that. But what about for tournament play? Oh, we just made a Rune Blade that gets to go, yeah, when I play this card, I create infinite Rune Blood tokens and I win the game. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, good, smart.
Smart. That's great. But it's only
Card's perfectly fine
if it's only
inside
combined it with a card from Welcome to Wraith. And nobody has Welcome to Wraith cards, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, true.
So it's total BS. It's total BS sometimes.
No, we get that. Like, because of some of the spoilers from Outlaws of Thunder's Junction, spoilers, we're finding that they're powering down some cards unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes a text that's put on the card that says, only activate at sorcery speed. And for some cards, that's very necessary. I have a commander that likes to make all my instants and sorceries really cheap. An instant that can be cast for 50 mana because it's like 48 cheaper amount of life that I lost at instant speed for like an X spell would be devastating on somebody's turn. So to confine it to just my turn makes sense. But some of these other things aren't that broken, even if you let them do it at instant speed. They are just fun.
So we know that we're roughly going to be getting our next set of Flesh and Blood around June, July. So I'm assuming we'll start maybe seeing spoilers or hearing about the set as early as June, July. We may even hear about it as early as May as a set. And I agree with you. So when you're talking about you guys are powering down, I feel like we've powered up too much, and we're continuing to power up. I think we're doing this. You guys are coming down, and Flesh and Blood's going up.
Yep.
They're like, oh, you guys are powering down, then we're gonna power up.
Let me read you this leaked card. It's Zavala, for those who know. It's like 4 mana. I can't really tell what the color cost is because of the glare. It says, whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 creature token with, and then this is its ability, tap, target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. You tap it and give one of your creatures on somebody else's turn +1/+0 to maybe hopefully kill their creature, right? Is not broken at all. But now you can only do that during your turn.
Which doesn't make sense, because that only is going to affect the new tournament stuff, whoever people play in the new stuff, only, modern. Only people that play in modern that will affect. Because everyone that goes, I'm just going to get the card for my commander games, that doesn't have that problem, and I'll be fine.
Listen, the only time you're casting a creature spell is possibly if you have Flash. And then you need an infinite combo for this to really actually work, because you only have about 60 slots for creatures in your deck, and you're not going to do 60. Most people do 33. Right? Somewhere between 20 and 40 creatures, depending on their type of deck.
Yeah.
On your turn anyways, you're going to do that infinite combo. You're going to say this creature is 1 billion plus 0. It's swinging in unblockable. It doesn't matter, they're dead. Alright? Now, do it on somebody else's turn. You're not attacking. All you're doing is, I'm going to make sure these creatures will kill all your creatures if you swing at me. But if they make their creatures unblockable, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get hit. So why is it only on your turn can you activate those creatures' abilities? When you could only maybe get 40 tokens out of it.
So let's be honest here. But it's not just Flesh and Blood. I think there's a lot of people that are claiming that games and cards are being play tested, and they're not being play tested. I literally think they're like, we have play testers. Don't tell nobody that we don't play test shit. Just remember that we gotta keep this secret over here. Like,
and they probably have just a group of people and their friends and family who are play testing it. And maybe some of them don't really care, but they're like, yeah, sure, we'll play test the set that you got, and we'll try it out.
I mean,
and how good are you play testing if you can't print the cards yet? You're not going to print a small amount of cards when it will be cheaper to print the entire set.
Right. It's not like if they said, hey, we want you guys to play test cards that are coming out for Flesh and Blood that are set 18 and 19 that we're looking at. Okay, remember, we're on set 13 right now. If they contacted us and said, let's play set 18 and 19. We're worried about these cards. So play test with what we currently have. And then also take note when new stuff comes out to play test. And we're going to need to know by this date what you guys think. And be like, okay. And now if we don't know of a card, we give them our information. We're like, hey, everything looks fair. Everything looks good. And then a set comes out after that we couldn't foresee. That's not our fault. It's like set 13 comes out and we don't have access to that. Okay, let's assume we're doing set 14. We're playtesting set 14 because they still have enough time to get it to the printers, right?
Yep.
So they're like, hey, look at set 14. We playtest all of set 14. We go, it's fine. Me and you. For the next 2-3 weeks, that's all we do is play test. We build different decks. We test it against every other card. We look at every card. Like, we play test the out of it.
You go, hey, Jones, look at this card. Can you break it? I go, yes, I can.
We fix it. I go, can you break it now? You eventually go, nah, yes, but no. It's pure luck at that point.
It's broken to its point where it will be fun for the players, and they may be able to win tournaments with it, but it's not going to be broken to a point where they're going to need to ban it.
Right. It's broken that if it hits at the right time with the right cards, it'll fire off. But there's not 12 different cards that you can put in there so that you can always fire it. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking at. And we go, okay, hey, yeah, everything looks good. We give them the okay, but set 13 hasn't even dropped yet, right? Because they got to get set 14 to the printers. And so we then have set 13 drop. 14 has just hit the printers, and we look at set 13 cards, and we go, shit, we didn't account for that. You guys didn't tell us you were going to be printing an OP Runeblade card that says, hey, if you do this, you win the game. And we're like, well, we can't foresee that. We're not.
Spoilers happen. Card is shown. We read card. Oh, hey, that'd be broken with a.
Yeah.
Like Studios. You fucked up. You didn't show us these cards.
Sorry. It's already at the printers. We can't do shit about it.
Understand. Keep us in the loop from now on.
Yeah, exactly. But see, that's the problem is I feel like the playtesters should know what's in set 13. They should know what's in set 14 for the most part. They're your playtesters. They should know all the cards that are out, and coming out. Like,
hey, listen, you're just new set testers. Here's the previous set, just so you know. That way we don't end up breaking some cards.
Right.
Have fun.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I feel like they're like, they get people who are new to Flesh and Blood, they only hand them set 14, and they say, playtest this. And they're like, it's great. And it's fun. It's amazing. And
they're not seeing it through the eyes of, like, judge players that are always looking like, I can break that if we have this enchantment, this artifact, and this artifact. Now I can cast from the top of my library for free because it's one cheaper, and I can just tap this, put it on top, draw that card, and now I can just draw my entire library. And because I did it that way, I'm able to throw down a bunch of cheap artifacts. Now I have infinite mana combos. I hit my other combo and win the game.
Yep.
It's actually a combo in my Shorokai deck.
Oh, I believe it. But let's talk about it in Flesh and Blood senses. Having extra cards at all isn't a massive win. Oh, I'm going to play this card. I'm going to get 3 extra cards in my hand because I met these weird conditions because you didn't account for this. And now I win. Like,
the real thing that's on the verge of making Flesh and Blood like a broken card game, or like only competitive players would have fun is card draw.
Yes. Yes, the card draw aspect is the only thing that is keeping players somewhat fair and keeping newer players to the ability where they actually have a chance. Yeah, they don't know how to pilot their deck to the best of their abilities, but even a bad pilot with a great deck hits the right situation that he can go, okay, I know how to play this. He can win a game. Now, granted,
Here's what you do.
yeah,
You accidentally print a hero that says you can run any number of generic cards in a deck. So instead of the limit of 4 or 3, depending on this, they can just do all the same.
right. So I could run,
And then
yeah.
the next set, they give it to us to play test, and there's a couple generic cards that say, hey, draw a card.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Draw a card. It's just a card, right? Set comes out, hero, and like, what the frick you thinking? I'm easily building it 50% this, 50% the other stuff.
Or if it says, hey, if you draw a card, draw an additional card this or draw a card for each card you've drawn, something weird like that, you know. So like
an item,
right? And so you go, I play this round's on me, and now I have 30 of those items on the field. I'm gonna draw this massive hand with infinite go.
I don't deck out in this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in Magic, at least you deck out. And now, yeah, I have all the resources I knew. I'm swinging in, dominate, intimidate, whatever the frick, and hitting you for 30 damage.
Give me just 1 second. I got cats going at
it. We'll be right back, folks. But yeah, no, the sorcery speed. For instance, this card, it is Wasted Griffin. Like, granted, some of these cards could also be fakes, but generally they're not. So it says when it dies, create a 1/1 mercenary token creature, and it's still the +1/+0, only activated at the sorcery speed. I don't think that's a broken mechanic. I don't think you need sorcery speed. Saddle is basically crew, but at sorcery speed. Tap any number of other creatures you control with power 1 or more. That creature, this creature becomes a saddled creature until end of turn. Saddle only has a sorcery. It's like, just do a crew. Like, just, yeah, leave it at saddle, but just like, hey, works just like crew. Like, why is it sorcery speed? It's a 4/2. What? I'm never going to put this in my deck because it can't block. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's just some of those spoilers. So again, I see Modern Horizons 3 hasn't had any more spoilers come out. Everything seems to be an up and up. They do have energy, so that we'll probably see more energy stuff. It's ridiculous that they're making commander decks for this set, though. Let's see, what's some more spoilers? Fallout just came out. There's some good cards. There's not a ton of good cards. I think there's only a few good cards. Outlaws may have people guessing what Magic's trying to do. Modern Horizons 3 is going to have some modern players salty that they can't use the commander deck cards because it's a modern set. Assassin's Creed, I know there's people that are excited for this. There's only a couple cards. But did they spoil? They spoiled a little bit more cards. Extra turns, +X, and a bunch of assassin triggers. Nothing I really care about. Let's see. Bloomborough, they've leaked some. Oh, there's a couple more? No, they didn't leak any more. But I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, just go ahead if you're watching this. Leave us a comment down below. Any suggestions you have, anything you think the PvE set should have that we haven't thought about already, we welcome it. And we'd have a shout out for your name as well.
For sure. Especially if it's something that we're like, that's just brilliant.
Yes, thank you guys. Now, going up against the dragon.
So, the reason I've been worrying about the cats, because we just got a brand new TV because ours died. and I'm wall mounting the TV because the new TV sticks out too far from where we used to have it sitting on our stand. Well, the cats can get behind it now and they can put their paws on it. So I'm waiting for this TV, if I don't wall mount it, to go onto the floor. So that's why it's
Sorry,
getting.
I was just thinking right now, what if as you're doing that, you heard it fall in the other room?
Who's
Goodbye,
getting...
kitties.
So I've had to worry about them stressing because the last TV had no space for them to get behind it. There was like this much, so they wouldn't mess with it. The new TV has just enough space for a cat to go all the way behind it if it wants to, and
Does it
then
have forked legs? Is that why?
yeah, it has the weird legs like this, so it
Yeah.
sits. Yeah,
So did you get a Vizio?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got right here. Got my forked legs. It
So-
sticks out while my other TV are pushed back a bit more.
Yeah,
I
so
would wall mount it, but it's not my house.
I'm wall mounting it so that it doesn't get dropped because we went from a 50 to a 65. So
Because if I can wall mount it, just boom there, TV there, other screen here, and then I'll have
So-
more room for other stuff here.
as a side note for everybody, I get all of my new desk stuff. This includes my monitor mounts, and I finally could take the 4 32-inch monitors that I had donated to me from my uncle, and I can finally mount them up. I cannot do that in the space that I have. Literally, the space that's this big in front of me that you can see on my camera. This is the space that I've had to do all of my stuff. So as soon as my desk comes in, and all the stuff to put it together, it's going in the other room, which is through that wall, right there, and I will be setting up my desk. It's a 6-foot desk. It'll have 2 IKEA cabinets so I can store all of my cards more effectively, as well as a full butcher block countertop, which I will be staining a beautiful gray color, and I will have all 4 32-inch monitors mounted so that I can more effectively do things on my computer. And if everything goes well and everything works out for me job-wise, not only will I be able to dump money into buying more product for you guys, I will also be able to finally put a new PC together, because the one that I have put together currently was donated as well from the uncle. Let's just say this is an awesome uncle, by the way. Like,
Oh, I've met him.
yeah, he's amazing. He's a cool stiller. Oh yeah, you did meet him. He came from my birthday party when we did D&D, and you got to sit down and meet him. Yeah, we did a D&D campaign with him. I forgot about that. Yeah, cool guy. That guy donated all of my computer parts practically, except for the power supply because I had to buy a new one because it went out. But originally he donated that too, and I believe the case I had to buy and the terabyte hard drive just so I had the space to store things. That's it.
Makes sense.
He gave me everything else because he's like, I upgraded my PC. You want all these parts? I was like, yes.
Thank you.
And he's like, you need any monitors to go with that? And I was like, maybe. He's like, okay, give me a month. And he's like, I got 4 32 inches. You want them? I was like, yeah, I'll take them.
I only got these 2, and then this little actual HP Dell desktop monitor that's heavy as heck,
So
but I can't for the life of me get rid of it because it's my 3rd screen.
So moving forward from here, we should have a really, really nice time. I mean, I've even gotten the color to be better on this monitor. I've messed around with it, so I'm going to basically set all of my stuff to this color settings on the new monitors. So
What you looking at?
I was looking at the taskbar to see if I could pull. I was trying to minimize OBS so I could see the color, what it was compared to on
I
my.
thought you were looking at chat on YouTube.
I mean, I am too. I see you laughing at me.
Little notes, little meow.
So we'll see how it all goes. I'm also went and got dinner for the wife tonight, which is really nice. So it's
Yeah,
it's been
I'm withholding myself from eating it in front of everybody right now.
I don't know if I could. I just
I crammed my mouth before we started, so no worries. I'm kind of full. I can finish it, but I can wait.
I could eat it, but I don't have to right now. But I could. So, but yeah, so like I said, as soon as once again, via cards, having to share the space with my wife when she needs to do her stuff at her desk. It'll also give it so that some of her stuff that has been kind of shoved over so that I have space for my mouse and keyboard and stuff will give her space back because we haven't had a lot of space to do it. So with the space being able to be my own personal, have all 4 monitor mounts to where I can actually be able to look at the spreadsheet on Google Docs, pull the information from there while I'm on another monitor, dropping it into the program to where I can build the cards and everything else, will make it vastly more successful in how fast I can get everything done. So
I can't tell you how nice it would be to have everything in view here instead of looking over at Twitch, which I can flip off the screen, but nobody can see my hand.
Right.
Way over here.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a monitor here. I'm going to have a monitor here. I'm going to have a monitor here that's upright for chat and any of my Google Doc stuff that I need to pull things from. And then over here, I'm going to have another monitor. And I don't know if I'm going to have it sitting in like a window view or if I'm going to have it more up kind of so it goes monitor, monitor, and then it's kind of in between and then another monitor here. Once I get all of that set up, it'll be drastically more efficient wise with how everything else functions for me. So
yeah, that would be nice. I'd like to start living in a place where I can make this setup in a different room.
Yeah.
Is it Momo? Hi, Momo.
No, it's the cat's trying to mess with this TV now.
Oh, what about the cat behind you?
No, she's okay. So I will be starting a YouTube channel about all of my fur babies at some point in the future for everybody's information. But she is the queen of the castle. At least she thinks she is. She's the best one when it comes to not messing with stuff she shouldn't be. But she is the worst one when it comes to dinner time. She thinks that she should have been fed 45 minutes ago. And the fact that you're only getting to it now is a disgrace to your existence as a human being.
How dare you call yourself my owner?
Exactly.
I own you.
Yeah, so I love her, though. She's the oldest of them all. And she lets everyone know that all she wants to do is sleep all the time.
Yeah, it'd be nice to, like, frame out, put bookshelves, like, paint it a nice color inside whatever room you're doing that in. So then it looks like a nice, warm lit, like, bookshelf cafe. Like, people can come and leave their books or borrow a book that's already on the shelf if they didn't bring one.
So the room that's going to be in the background of the room that I'm working in, all of the background walls are going to have cat things. So I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, but I will have one wall that the cats will be able to run up. It's a pre-carpeted wall. Oh, that's my boy. That's my son. This is my son.
Pebble?
See? Yeah, this is Pebble. He's my son. He loves me.
Is he still a boy?
I mean, I guess, what is it called? A eunuch or a...
Yeah, eunuch.
He's a eunuch now. All of the boys have been turned to eunuchs.
Yeah, that's what they get.
But he loves me. He's the good boy. So yeah, the walls that'll most likely be seen, I'm gonna mount the shelves that I've been building on. So they'll be able to run up and jump down it. I'm gonna have one wall that they can carpet run up, and then jump onto those shelves. So it'll be a lot of fun. The only wall that I am probably gonna have no cat things on, or if I do modify it, I'll have to wait for you to get here. I was thinking about making a little cat shelf where it's a corner shelf so that they can travel to it, but it has tunnels so that if they are above me, they cannot jump onto my frick. But the rest of the walls will all be cat jumpable and run aroundable.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah.
As you're just talking and like you're holding your wine glass or shot glass or teacup, and you're just, oh yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
What
a
are you
teacup.
guys doing?
So I was thinking about making a above where the monitors sit, having you help me with when next time you come down of cutting a piece of
Bubbles.
plywood in a corner and then finding the studs and mounting some bricks so that it'll sit flat and then carpeting it and then building a little ledge and plexiglassing through it so they can see me but they can't come through it. Yeah, exactly. So I can be like, "Hi guys," and tap the thing. But yeah, I don't want them coming through it. So last thing I want to do is have the cat sitting above me, and then all of a sudden just hi. Because I've had Charlie. Charlie is our orange cat. I've had him literally try to climb up my arm to sit on my shoulder, and I'm like, ugh.
Orange cat things. Yeah, when I had Charlie in my lap when I was over there last, and like something made him so excited, literally gripped into my thigh and held himself away from my leg.
So he could
Like,
look
I
at it.
felt his, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "What's going on over there?"
He wasn't just like peeked. He was using me to hold himself away so he can see more. That hurt like shit.
So, for anybody that has cats and cards, if you have cards and they get into your cabinets, lock your cabinets. Because my orange one is a cabinet hopper. So I've had to hide some of my cards. That's, once again, why there's cards up here. This is not my space. As a matter of fact, my wife is very mad at me right now for stashing cards here. Because this is one of our other old kitty cats that she couldn't live without. Who lived to be like 15, 16. And
I remember that day.
Yeah, that was a bad day for her and me. I've stashed...
Was it like a couple weeks after you ran into Junie?
Yeah, no. We ran into her before, and she passed... It's almost like she called her to the house because she passed away, Sammy, when Junie showed up. She's like, "You got someone new, I'm leaving now." And Morgan was more distraught than I was because that was her baby from baby. Like, she'd known that cat her whole life. And then Junie showed up.
I now feel comfortable enough to leave.
Deuces, yeah. And that was just... So I have cards. I have card boxes where they shouldn't be. Like I said, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get the rest of my desk set up so that a lot of this stuff can leave. Now, these are actually hers, fortunately. They're supposed to be in a different place, but because I've taken over her desk, yeah.
I love them so much.
They are cool. If you guys have not seen some of the Harry Potter, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and all that sleeves, they're awesome.
I had to choose my house.
So did she. You bookworms!
Yeah. I just finished The Hobbit with Andy Serkis as a narrator.
Very nice.
For those of you who don't know, is the facial actor and voice actor for Gollum in both The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Very nice.
Yeah. So when he does the Gollum voice while he's reading it to you, spot on. When he does the Smaug voice, he probably should have also done the Smaug voice in the movies. It was so good.
Yeah.
But we digress. Back to cards.
So, with cards being done, once the new desk is set up, I will have a lot more ability to efficiently access the cards and modify the cards. That should happen around the 16th of this month. I should have my full desk set up. I'm thinking it'll be fully set up and running by the 18th because I have to build all the IKEA cabinets that I bought to throw it together and everything else. So once that's all done, I should have my full desk set up in the other room by the 18th and be able to work on cards. So like I said, because of that, that's my hard-in goal for the public arena stuff being available by the 18th. Or by the 30th or 31st of this month. Whatever the calendar says.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
By the 31st of this month, 31st of this month, I want to have it publicly available to everybody. So, thanks for, everybody being patient. Really, really helpful. And then also let your card shop know that I'm super grateful. I know you're super grateful that they're even willing to, give us a whirl and let us play test and try things out. So...
Yeah, I'll let them know. It'll be good.
I really think we're going to have some fun. I really think we're going to have some serious fun.
I can't wait for people to find out about my creatures, my allies. Yeah, kill them all, guys.
Side note, this is a spoiler for everybody, but do you remember the alcohol, the Fate Brew in D&D that we made? You roll a d20, and depending on whether you succeed or fail, depends on how strong the alcohol is. If you roll a critical fail, you black out in the first shot. If you roll a natural 20,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Did we make that because I was immune to poisons, or was that before?
someone else I think made it that I played with, and I stole it and took it to our campaign at the time. So,
Okay, yeah.
uh, but I pulled it over because I loved the concept of it. I'm literally thinking that my deck is going to be like a Fate deck, a Fate Brew.
Ooh, ooh, that's going to be fun.
I don't think it's going to be tavern themed, although it might be tavern themed, but it also might.
It's. I mean, we could shut off the cameras to talk a little bit more. I have
Yeah,
some ideas of what
yeah,
what you're thinking. You
yeah.
as the DM, I think I know.
When you've been DMing for as long as I have,
Nope.
you are,
I'm a forever player.
and I'm a forever DM. Um, I've been playing D&D since I was really little. Uh, Effectively, no. No, I mean, you can't effectively play when you're a kid as little as I was. But I've been playing, and I've known about D&D for a very long time.
I've been playing D&D for 9 years now.
I've been playing since I was like 9 or 10. Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't already know, I want you to take a wild guess on who got me into D&D. All right, time's up. It's this idiot.
That one? He's like, I'll take the blame. I will happily take the blame.
9 years ago? Yeah.
He wasn't even born.
Wasn't even a thought in your mind.
Actually, Jones is the person 9 years ago that turned me into a forever DM at that point. I had DM'd, dabbled in it before that. So I'd probably been DMing a decade over plus now. But 9 years ago, I went from player DM to forever DM. Because I DM a little, and I was like, it's okay. And then I sat down with that one and a couple other people, and I was like, I like being a DM. I get to do so much evil stuff. Oh, you said you wanted that to be an arrow of returning, but you said it was for the enemies? Okay, let me roll a dice. Yeah, that's an arrow of returning.
That would be so funny if it was a black arrow.
Oh,
Oh, that would be so funny if he was able to return it back to his hand. Oh, that's so funny. Shut up, Davner!
that was the time that they learned that I could roll 3 crits in a row.
Yep. Now, that's also when I learned that you don't go what if with a DM that's like you. Other DMs are like, well, but it's not. So, moving on.
And I'm like, well, what if it was? Okay.
It'd be funny if that bag of holding was sentient and it would stab him every time he had a dirty thought.
These are the things that he's mentioning because these are the ones that actually ended up happening. There were a lot of others that didn't happen that were probably worse in some way that if they would have stuck around would have been worse. But yeah, so that's one reason I love building this PvE system is because it reminds me of a D&D campaign. And in a way, I get to be a DM, but for everyone that plays flesh and blood.
Your favorite card game
Now,
of all time.
I may not be your DM in person, but the card that's harming you is technically me.
It's my creation.
And therefore I'm a DM for thousands of people if this turns out to be mad.
You invaded another plane of existence and made it your own.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's good.
So,
That's good there.
once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I know this has kind of been a little around the bush today because life is for me has been chaotic. I really appreciate everybody's understanding and people's ability to still stick around and be here. Like I said, I will have more short videos coming soon. I know that a lot of the people that watch some of these are big short content consumers, so I'll be hopefully back on that ASAP with the money that's coming in from the new job, and then also getting everything up and rolling for full, more steady content, not just short content, but back to gameplay content. The guy that I was helping me gameplay, which is another reason I haven't had gameplay content. I've had the time to do gameplay content, but the main person that helps me do gameplay content has had some medical problems and has not been able to assist in any way with those at the moment. So he's getting on the up and up. So, we wish him the best, and hopefully everything pans out for him in the future and we can do more content. But that's kind of where I am with that. A lot of people at certain card shops don't want to do content for other people or help out in any other way, at least the card shops that I go to. They're a little, well, I should say the main card shop I go to is fine. But the other card shops that I tend to go to, people can tend to be a little toxic in some groups. So tend to just stay away.
Believe it or not, card shops are cliques. People have their favorites because that's who they vibe with. Luckily, the card shop I go to, we all very much don't like toxic players, and we're not afraid to tell them, hey, don't play that deck. Like, don't show up with that deck. Like, if you're going to play here, find a corner to go play it. It's not that we don't like having players and customers. It's just, don't come to my table. We're a very casual game store. We have some competitive players. Don't just come in here to win a tournament with some other game store's deck so they can get that card, give it to that game store so that they can sell it.
Yeah, no.
It's happened.
I know. And I believe that those happen more frequently than people want to admit to. But one of the things I did want to mention, because you brought up cards and game card stores, is I will be opening probably a little bit more sorcery, and what I mean by a little bit more, I mean a huge chunk of sorcery. So, I love sorcery for its artwork, and unfortunately, the next set that is coming out is going to cost me a fair chunk of change, because my wife doesn't play card games, but the artwork that is coming out in the next set, and that the theme that it is supposed to be, is Arthurian Legends, which I know you can't see it here because my wife has some of her books, but she has other books here. A lot of the books that she has and artworks that she has, I have a Lady of Shalott massive poster or painting in my living room that's extremely stupid heavy that I had to hang up because she is a huge fan of Arthurian Legends and Arthurian Legends art. So once she found out that sorcery has an Arthurian Legends theme coming out, she pretty much said I have to go buy a case, maybe two. So that's 12.
5.
That's 12 boxes, just so that everyone knows. So about $1,000 I'm gonna have to spend on Arthurian Legends, maybe more.
You gotta go to work. Gotta work.
Yeah. So
what? 3 paychecks?
2.5, maybe 2, depending on how it pans out.
I get paid every week. You get paid every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 paychecks.
Yeah, 2 paychecks. 2 paychecks.
Yeah.
So with it being Arthurian Legend themes, she actually wants to crack boxes. So you may see one of the videos where I do a box crack and I just talk. You'll probably see her doing a few of those, which is a big deal because she doesn't like.
Oh my gosh, it's King Arthur.
Well, it's not only that; is she also doesn't like to be on camera in any way for the most part. I me's cracked a few packs here and there for me, but the fact that she's like, I would probably want to crack a box, maybe even a case, depending on the artwork. I'm like,
I don't know why. You have a beautiful wife, dude.
I know. I love her. That's why she's my wife. But she is what she is. She's, people don't like being on camera. Let's side note aside, cards and everything else. People do not like being on camera. Even I hated being on camera, and if I listen to a video that I hear myself in, I hate my voice because my voice is way deeper in my own head than it is on camera. I sound like this when I'm listening to a video, and I think I'm just like, oh my god, that is not how I sound.
Anyways, we'll wrap it up there, guys.
Yeah, so.
I'm just kidding. We can gab forever because with your new job, I miss you.
Yeah,
I miss you so much.
Oh, the wife just got home.
Oh yeah, hop off. We got to play Baldur's Gate together. I got to play with your wife.
Yeah, I know you do. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I gotta go mount the TV anyways. So, what? What you laughing at? Why am I funny? All right. She said because she loves me. Alrighty.
That's why you're funny. I get it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate all of you. Uh, any other last little tidbits of information? I'm pulling a blank, my personal self.
How's One Piece going? I don't know. We don't want to talk about that too much.
Well, I haven't had the funds.
Yeah.
Neither has.
Your brother hasn't.
Yeah, he just paid for a very expensive trip for his wife.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So, all right. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. You guys, thank you for being here. I'll see you probably on Sundays in the future. Maybe a Tuesday occasionally, but peace out, love, joy, all the wonderful